Brilliant. So, wow, what a fantastic day we've had today as well. Thank you, John and Brian, for the last plenary of the conference. I'm sure we could continue the conversation if we had more time. And a special thanks, let me start with that, to all our colleagues in Southeast Asia in particular and Australia, who are now well into their night and they're still with us on this event. It's absolutely brilliant to still have them here. So without further ado, we'll move on to the last part of the event, which is the award of the prizes and the awards that we have for the best poster and runner-up and for the best oral presentation and the runner-up. So I will start this with the poster awards, and then Brian will proceed to the oral presentation awards. Thank you to everybody who cast the vote for those. And so the runner-up for the Best Poster Award is Zuhur Balaya from King's College London for her presentation using theory of change methodology to design a scale-up strategy, lessons from the national implementation of a pragmatic quality improvement skills curriculum for urologists. So I would like to invite Zara, if she's still around, and would like to say a few words, to unmute her mic and do so now. Oh, there she is.
Thank you, Nick. I'm very pleased and honored, and I would like to say thank you for everybody who voted. And it's really, it's been a pleasure participating in the conference, and really it's been both yesterday and today. I found it really a lot of food for thought for a lot of the discussions and engagement with delegates and all the presenters.
Fantastic, Zara. Thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on your award, which we should say is sponsored by the BMC, and it will consist of a certificate and indeed a financial award of £100. And now moving on to the winner of the Best Poster Award, which is Julia Moore from the Centre for Implementation, for her presentation, Pathways to Practice Change, How to Use Implementation Science Theories, Models and Frameworks. And again, I would like to invite Julia, if she's around, to say a few words.
Hi, Nick. That is very, very exciting. I want to say a huge thanks to everyone. And I actually want to say a huge thanks to the UK Implementation Conference and for people who are voting to vote for a very practical and applied example, because I know that's not always the norm in our implementation conferences. And so that's really, really an exciting move forward, I think. So thanks so much.
Julia, thank you. And thank you to you and indeed to Zara, for both of you for submitting your works. Delighting to really see a good balance of more academic and more practical work presenting at the conference. So what an excellent outcome. So I will now pass you all back to Brian, who will present the runner-up and the winner of the Best Oral Presentation. Brian.
Great, thank you, Nick. So for the Oral Presentation Awards, we actually have a tie for the runners-up. So both North Americans in this case, Julia Moore for your presentation just a little while ago, Accelerating the Implementation of Evidence, Core Competencies for Implementation Practice. So again, on the theme of practice, Julia, anything else to add for this second award?
No, but that's very, very exciting. Thank you.
And then the other runner-up is Dennis Lee from Northwestern University, Further in Implementation Science in HIV Research through coordination of, consultation with, and collaboration among 65 projects to end the HIV epidemic in the U.S. Dennis, congratulations. Any comments if you're with us?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who voted. Thank you to the UK Implementation Science Conference for a really wonderful conference, and for kind of switching gears to online and doing it very well. So I commend the organizers on doing that, and echoing the Julia and Zuhur, thanks for the opportunity.
Great, thank you. And then finally, the winner of the Oral Presentation Award is for presentation 018, Hosai Gul. And the title is Combining Implementation Research with Implementation Practice to Translate Evidence-Based Interventions into Routine Care Within Complex Adaptive Systems, the Systems-Informed Participatory Action Implementation Research Approach. Jose, congratulations, and comments if you're with us.
Thank you, Brian. Yes, it was a long title. Thank you so much, everyone, for voting. I've really enjoyed tonight. It's 3 a.m. in Sydney, and I'm still here, so that has a lot to say with all the content that's been so rich and that's kept me awake. So thank you so much, everyone. Really humbling.
Great. So a special thanks again to our Australians, and my apologies if I guessed wrong in the pronunciation of your first name. But before turning back to Nick for any concluding comments, just my thanks to all of the delegates, the presenters. You know, as I said during the opening remarks, a very large amount of work to pull this off. But also special thanks to the conference staff. I've said on a couple of occasions to colleagues in the U.S. who are planning to coordinate virtual conferences. I think you know, lots of innovation and lots of very careful planning and experimentation. And I think any of us who are involved in virtual conferences in the future, I hope we won't burden our King's College colleagues too much, but I think there's a lot that they have to offer. So my thanks to all of you for the very smooth logistics. So Nick, back to you.
Thank you, Brian. We're just about to close the event. I just want to, again, reiterate, would like to thank the organizing team. We really wouldn't be anywhere near having an event, let alone a smoothly running event, which we've done for the first time. I think it's fair to say it's the first implementation conference that's gone fully virtual globally, so a great experiment for our community, which I hope will now be followed up by subsequent events. A huge thank you to Churchill, Naomi, Michelle, Nick, Stuart, and particularly Aoife, who's coordinating and led that team, and obviously ourselves, Brian and myself. Thank you so much, guys. Also, thank you to a few other colleagues on the scientific committee who reviewed abstracts, scored abstracts, and we've got them all listed. You'll see on the conference website, and indeed on the publication of the proceedings, which will come out in implementation science. Fantastic work from everybody going through what I think has been a really, really high quality and a great collection of research and projects presented at this meeting. Thank you all for contributing and submitting your work. We didn't really expect that we'll do all of this virtually. With a lot of colleagues during the last 2 days, we've said that we so much miss seeing each other and having a chat over a coffee or a beer or right next to a poster. We really hope that we'll get a chance to do some of this in the future. But as Brian said when we launched yesterday, this is a way that allows more people to attend, is more cost effective. I think we're doing our bit for the planet. So who knows how we're going to go forward from here. We most certainly will have a fourth event next year, which we're already very much looking forward to. So have a really great night or evening or rest of day, and a great weekend coming forward. Thank you again to everyone, and looking forward to seeing you at the subsequent events. Thanks very much, and goodbye from London.